In the White House, President Eisenhower signs the proclamation that makes Alaska's entry into the Union official, nearly 92 years after Lincoln's Secretary of State bought the territory from the Russian Tsar for $7 million.
I just want to give a shout out before the show starts to all the sponsors, all the local businesses that have been coming through to help us out and get this thing started. Thank you to you guys.
Total Truck Accessory Center. Go check them out at 7700 Homer Drive. They're your one-stop shop for canopies, spray-in bed liners, LED light bars, and more. Total Truck.
TheTreehouseAK.com. Located at 341 Boniface Parkway. They're your all-in-one cannabis and CBD store. Ask the bartender today what the strain of the day is to get your 10% off.
Lawn Pro AK, your year-round professional property maintenance. Cutting lawns, but not cutting quality. Hit them up at lawnproak.com.
Double Shovel Cider Company, located off of Arctic and 58th. Handcrafted, Alaskan-made cider. They also got a tap room downtown on the corner of 5th and E. Check them out, doubleshovelcider.com.
Anchortown Dogs, located across from the 4th Avenue Theater in front of the historical building. Look for the blue and gold umbrella. Get yourself a legit reindeer dog.
Tailored Restoration, helping Alaskans restore their dreams. Voted #1 in the state since 1972. Water restoration, fire restoration, remodeling, cleaning, anything that you have to do with your home, inside and outside, give those guys a call or check out tailoredrestoration.com. What up?
What's
Brando?
up?
Jackie?
Game on.
Game on.
I was just thinking about that intro, the $7 million thing, you know, Seward buying it from the Russian Tsar. And man, wouldn't you have loved to have been alive then with Kickstarter? We kickstart own Alaska. It would be pretty rad.
Yo, we got this idea. There's this big chunk of land these guys own. They don't really speak English, but they're willing to sell. It's just barren wasteland.
Yeah. You better get it before somebody else does.
That's crazy. Is there any like recorded land purchase like that that's somewhat similar of like?
I wonder if Hawaii has some sort of announcement like that.
I mean, I think the Louisiana land purchase was pretty big, you know.
Yeah, I don't know the details on that.
Yeah.
I don't, but that is a major historical,
Yeah.
fact.
No,
Yeah.
Hawaii's a different thing. Like they got fucked.
Yeah,
Somehow.
that's
That's a crazy story.
Like that could have kind of been anybody's.
Yeah. No, you read that Michner, the Hawaii book, and just like how all that, like the beginning of like the islands and how just like those formed, and then like the peoples that traveled back and forth, and and then when the white man came and like, and the Chinese, and it just like tells like the whole story of all these people that invade that land and just like what it is now.
Right.
Crazy story.
And it's wild to me too how those last two states are like really off the grid, from the main states, and how different they really are.
Oh yeah.
In terms of how they became part of the union, and
Well, I will say that I think the
it's
cultures
crazy.
are somewhat similar.
yeah,
There's a lot of living off the land and a lot of hunting and a lot of fishing that's going on up there.
the local original bloodlines mixing with all the diversity. Yeah, Hawaii has all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's start our Alaska podcast talking about Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
We all
I
take
think-
vacations there every week.
Yeah.
Direct flight.
We got a
baby.
couple
Being
condos
loyal
there.
Canadians,
Yeah.
Well, I think it's funny because it's ever more apparent that Alaska is even that much more of a wild place versus something that's out in the middle of the ocean. It was once connected to Russia. It's connected to Canada. you know, it's 1,000 some miles away from the other states. It's like, what is going on there? How did that get attached to that down there? Like,
$7 million. That's how.
yeah, a drop in the bucket.
Well, and they managed it different. You know, they made it state and federal land. We didn't just sell all the land and let people homestead the whole state and end up being private land. It's a huge playground for us, and I mean, we are so lucky that that's how they did it.
It's crazy how that, it's like almost kind of like fell in America's lap.
It absolutely did.
And, there's, reading on, not to harp on Michner a lot too, but his Alaska book, I mean, if you want to get a readable, like, historic, like, account of Alaska, like in a story style, like that Michner is just titled Alaska. Oh man, that one is like, I've read it twice and it's like 1,500 pages. It's like a monster book,
Yeah, that's a killer book. Yeah, everything from like the geological like formation of Alaska to the present time, really. It's pretty rad.
Yeah. And there's just the detail in like even the old animals, the mammoths and the mastodons and the hunting of those and the the tribes that came from Siberia and why they came and how the Aleuts were pretty much run off to the islands by other groups, and some groups were passive and peaceful as others were warriors, and so people got pushed into different areas of Alaska, and it's just like 100% worth a read or an audio book. I don't know if
they have audio of that.
They
Yeah,
do.
They do.
It's a good one. Yeah,
Man, you better have some time on your hands.
it's good airplane.
a good airplane
yeah,
one.
I
What is it? What do they whittle it down to? Like,
I don't know how many hours it is. It's the same. It's word for word on the audio.
What would it
I
take?
wonder who reads that. Like the Reading Rainbow guy.
That would be awesome.
I know he does. No, he does. He reads. He does a bunch of. Oh yeah, he does a
okay.
bunch of audiobooks.
Wow.
That'd be killer. I really like it when the real author reads the book. I think it just like adds like a flair to it.
Big time.
Yeah. Well, I think he's way passed away, so maybe his son
yeah,
or his grandson or something.
yeah.
That'd be real cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could just bring him back.
It's hologram. Well, no, they can do that now. Like if they have like, I want to say it's like a certain amount of words of your tone and your voice, they can recreate like, the fakening and all this other stuff.
yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get those like phone calls that people are calling me and kind of asking random information, and like I'm pretty sure that's what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So anyway, the Alaska Wild Project, something that we've been dreaming of, thinking about, wishing, already been a part of, culture, lifestyle, all these things that we do, videos, posting, trying to invite other people, trying to bring family and kids into it, just the whole aspect of like all the different avenues and activities and cultures and lifestyles and things that are happening up here. Like there's no way you could do it all, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah. You only wish you could.
And it seems like every like new toy or new piece of gear like opens up like another avenue,
Yep.
where it's like picture Alaska is like this major highway and there's like all these like sub highways or cutoffs of different things, just depending like, hey, I got a 4-wheeler so I can go do all these trips, what I'm saying? Or you got a raft and now you can hit all these rivers, or I mean, what's the pinnacle of that?
Yeah, for me, it's just like getting out and enjoying new things and things that have like a nostalgic feel to it, and either like try to share them with people that haven't done that before, or people that have like passion, like our group here, or like teaching our kids how to do stuff, and getting off the grid and getting out of like the day to day, the grind, trying to make sure that we don't stay in cruise control and we live in the present. And I think that getting off the grid really, like, for me, does a reset. And we just have so many options. You got mountains and rivers, and you have the sound, and you can get out to Kodiak, or you can just get off the grid here and get to that like peace.
Yeah, wherever that may be for you.
Right.
Even if it's, a highway run on the road to Hope and you're just camping, you don't have all the stuff, like that's 100% could be a reset.
It was kind of like that when we went a couple weeks ago out to Finger Lake. We went to that far side, and I felt like we were in our own space for a day, and everything else was gone, and our kids are running around catching fish, and it was wonderful.
A couple hours of a little escape from the grind. You weren't looking at your phone. You weren't worried about this, that, and the other. Just good quality time. And that's what's cool is you can do a lot of that not far away.
Yeah.
And
I think another aspect that we really want to bring to light is that it's not hard to do this stuff. It's not. I mean, sure, there's different levels of expenses and gear and stuff like that, but like I have lots of friends that have never caught a fish on the Kenai, like never went four-wheeling in Eureka, just because it's like the fear of, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know what I need, whereas really it's like find one person that's doing it, say, hey, I'd like to come. And I guarantee you, as Alaskans, they're like, yeah, I'll bring you.
Yep.
Yeah, game on. I'm going to show you how this is done.
Absolutely. Come do this with me.
And how many times have you done that? And then they find the same passion in the outdoors, and they're introducing you to some awesome trip that you never heard of, and you're like, whoa, I didn't know this exists. It's 20 years later, and man, it's so cool.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, there's I got some buddies like just started hunting like a couple years ago, start with the tier 1 or whatever, the caribou hunt, and tell them, hey, these are the trails I've been on. You can go there. You could hike in. You could walk in. You don't have to. You can just go with your truck and go down the highway. And then it's like 3 years later, you see these guys and they're just queued out.
yeah, totally.
Got the new side by side.
New side by side Can-Am fucking Renegade or whatever, dude, and the 3-place on the raft on top, and the Tacoma with the they're like, thanks. Made me spend a lot of money.
Yeah. Oh, did you check out my new gear? And you're like, oh, dang it, I need to get one of those now.
Ultimately, they're introduced to an adventure or not only the adventure itself, but the adventurous side of them that they didn't know existed until you or somebody introduced them to that world. And we've all been there where we were like, oh, this shit's badass.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm hooked. Whatever, it's fly fishing, surfing, snowboarding, hunting, whatever. So this is like, guy shows you this. And then the cool thing about Alaska, right, is that it's got all of it.
All of it.
All of it.
Yeah.
Like,
whatever.
I mean, it's
whatever highway you want to take.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
road you want to take.
Spread
And
selection of fun.
And as busy as you want it, or as remote as you want it.
Right. All levels.
Yeah. And I think it's important to take the kids out so much. Like, even if you can teach a dad, certain simple things, or bring them on something, and then they can bring their kids, and that's like a whole next generation. You never know about those kids. And I mean, just like the way we grew up, we didn't have all the stuff. You know what I'm saying? My dad would just take us. We didn't have the gears, and we're sleeping in the back of the Bronco, and like he put the plywood so we can, have all of us, me and my brother and my sister, under the old Bronco with the plywood, and like you can't get out unless they open the door.
Yeah.
But we're at the Russian River, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're out there trying to get it, and he's getting all pissed off, because we have to get a snag every minute, and the kids and all that. Like that's part of it,
Yeah.
But it's that adventurous spirit of these guys, like our dads, that came out here in the 70s and the 80s, and like to now, like for example, like the Kenai, you know what I'm saying, like the floating the raft deal.
Oh yeah.
I mean, once they started selling the rafts at Costco, it was like, psh,
Yeah.
that's it.
Everybody's floating. Everybody's learned how to raft,
Yeah. It's
catching sweepers, finding out if they actually like to do this or not.
Yeah. Oh, we get into some stories about some
Got a sweeper.
guys falling in the Kenai.
oh
Got
yeah.
a raft for sale.
I got a list going. I got a raft for sale.
One sweeper changed our mind real quick.
Yeah, there's Kyle's Rock and Dennis's Corner.
Yeah, you definitely come out of these trips with a lot of stories, and they're really good stories. I mean, they go from like trauma, to just like bantering and brethren humor to like stories of struggle. Where you really had to
Misery.
push it to some levels you didn't know you had, and you're in a state of flow. But it wasn't a state you probably wanted to be in.
Not at the moment.
Yeah, you didn't do it on purpose. And but then you look back a year later and you're like, I don't remember that roller coaster, but man, that sheep one was the best thing I did.
I want to go again.
Yeah. The past self wants to shoot you, shoot.
It's like, no.
So, I mean, I guess the goal is paint with a broad brush and shine with a wide light. Unlike all these things that are going on. I mean, there's dudes and girls doing crazy stuff, I mean, we could talk about, Eddie Burke learning to be a sled dog racer in 2021 as like a young 20-year-old dude. This dude is going out to learn to run the Iditarod, works all summer, saves his money, moves out with who knows what crazy dude in Willow or Nana or wherever he's at to like learn this.
Yeah.
It shows that it's not over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Not even close.
That adventurous spirit is going to be around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll bring him in and other stories like that of these dudes that are and ladies that are just doing new things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Things that they've never done, things that we've never done. But we all know that they're happening. It's like, what's the inside story with that?
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome to hear these people's real stories, real encounters, and kind of just like try to put ourselves in their position. It's gonna be pretty rad. I also think there's like a lot of conspiracy type stories in Alaska that we're gonna get to hear, and that's gonna be pretty rad. Like everything from how the runways in sheep hunting country work, to just some of these like old timer encounter stories. And
Sure.
I think we're going to have some fun with that too.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you guys think of a topic or somebody that is doing something super cool, hit us on the email, Alaska Wild Project at Gmail. Hit us on any of the messages, wherever you're seeing this podcast. Leave a comment and just be like, hey, you should check this dude out or this guy's doing that. I mean, crabbing, the fat tire biking, the trapping, the whitewater rafting. I mean, the list is just...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the idea is to encompass everything that's truly uniquely wild about the life that you can live in Alaska, the options that are there for you. It's whatever you want to make of it. You could be a hermit, live in an apartment, and ride your mountain bike once in a while, or go out to the movies, kind of live the city life.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're down for a little more, it's,
how down do you want to be?
Yeah. It's your oyster, man. You can make it what it is, what you want it. And that's what we really want to bring. We want to shed light on is, it's a unique place, not only in our country, but the world.
Yeah.
And it's truly one of the greatest places in the world to live. It's not at times the easiest. It's seasonal. Winters are long. But it's funny, like growing up, we all had friends, and even maybe you guys have in the past. Oh, I'm gonna go move away and come, start life somewhere else or go try something else out.
Yeah.
Guess where you end up back?
Yeah.
You end up back at home, and you know why? Because it calls to you. She brings you back.
Oh yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be great sharing our passion for the outdoors for Alaska. And like-minded people hang out with like-minded people, so it's that whole when we share our passion, they're gonna share their passions, and it's kind of intoxicating, and it actually makes you sit back and go, man, I don't have enough days in this year.
Yeah. Oh
my God.
Talking about the calendar.
Don't even get me started on that. Permits just came out.
How'd you do on that, Brandon? How'd you do on the permits?
1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out.
Yeah.
I threw the bat in the stands. I was like, you know what?
So it went about normal?
Yeah. It's,
Yeah.
full disappointment, absolute demoralizing, kick in the nuts. But I do have some news.
You have some news?
I have some news.
On air news?
Well,
on internet news? I mean, I don't think you say on air anymore.
It's not good news. It's not bad news. It's just news.
All right. Well, go ahead. Let's hear it.
My 12-year-old daughter was lucky enough for the second time to draw the caribou and any bull permit. So
the double?
She's got the caribou and the bull moose.
Oh, man.
And
wow.
Based on those ranges of those dates, she pretty much can hunt that from early August to the end of January.
That's incredible. That's such an awesome opportunity for her.
It is. It's cool that Alaska has provided these programs with the Department of Fish and Game where they really emphasize the youth hunting and you put your kid in for these permits and they get some, they don't. And it's just another kid in the household, a person in the household that can get some hunting opportunities. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah. And you know what a takeaway from that, when your daughter drew that 2019.
Yeah.
It's such a family experience. Like whoever wants to come, I brought my oldest son and we had some other buddies bring their kids, and the joy on Kennedy's face after that, like the hug you guys did and like her providing for like not only your family, but my family and our other buddies that were there, Cisco and them, like everyone got some of that caribou, and we probably shared it together, eating those dogs the other weekend, ice fishing. Right. And here's a little cool tip that I've been doing. Whenever we get a fish or an animal or anything like that, whoever gets it, I put their name in the packaging. So we're like, oh, tonight we're eating Mateo's salmon.
Oh,
tonight we're eating Alexia's shrimp.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And put their name on the vacuum or whatever the thing. So it's like, oh, go pull out some of so-and-so's whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you just see them fill up with like pride. Like,
yeah.
I provided this.
Yeah.
Then they're like, oh, let me help you.
Yeah.
Mom, let me help you cook that.
And they can also like pinpoint where that came from, because sometimes fish is hard, right? Like, did I get this dip netting, or did I catch, who caught this, And then now you can have that moment, not only the pride, but you can remember that moment in time. That's pretty rad that you're doing that.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. And it's crazy the pleasure you got out of being part of that, watching that kid take an animal. Oh. And then it was like, we're like, oh, is she going to get like emotional, or is she going to be sad? Because kids don't really know how they're going to react until they actually take an animal's life.
Yeah.
Oh, she's full fist pump, high five. I was like, oh, okay, you're a certified killer. Like you're you're ready to put meat on the table. All right, cool. And
I think on top of that, it's inspiration for the other kids that were there. Like my son wasn't old enough yet, and I know that Cisco's
they were
son,
in on the stock.
They're in.
Oh man,
full part of it, full of the
belly
cleaning,
crawling up, and
that's awesome.
dude, holding the heart, full part of it.
Blood on
you
the
know?
fingers, yeah.
And then it's like, oh, I want to do that, or it's I don't want to do that. Let's be honest.
Which
There's
is
some
good-
there's
which is
some
good
kids
too.
that right
Yeah.
away they don't
Yeah.
that's not their thing. You know, like my youngest, he's not into it. He's not into fishing. He's not into all that. But get in the car, we're all going.
Yeah. There's other adventures to speak to, you know, instead,
Yeah.
you know.
There is.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
so we got that going for us as far as
That's
putting that
awesome.
together. And she's 2 years older now. So it like changes the dynamic of taking a 10-year-old, now a 12-year-old. All right. There's a big jump. We all know.
And some experience under her belt.
Right.
Yeah.
Physicality, being able to walk and run and actually have more stamina to do a big stock or something, whatever. You never know. Like you walk away from the 4-wheeler, it could be a 5-minute kill, it could be a 4-hour kill.
Yeah.
You know, all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, we hiked a mile and a half from the 4-wheelers and we got it down. And, you know, so it's going to be a situation where we can like kind of up the level a little bit.
Yeah.
And she's down for it. And man, that just, I mean, I want to do my own hunts, but opportunity to get her out on that is like, I kind of feel like it's more of a priority. Like I want that so bad for her.
Yeah.
And, you know, we'll go out on that moose hunt and hopefully can get out a couple times and between the ranges, and I'm ready to get her out on the jet boat and do a 3-hour boat ride in the rain. You know, like, you know, I think I'll see if she's down.
Yeah.
We're going to find out, you know, if it's one of those deals. And so,
well, it's inspirational for everyone that goes. You know, I've been on many caribou hunts. And many adventures and stuff like that, but just to see the expression on her face and my kid's face and your face for your daughter's first hunt, like, it's irreplaceable, that feeling.
So, Brandon, how do you like plan and prep with her before a hunt like that?
You know, it's a good question. Really good question, because I was so hypersensitive to like all angles of every scenario of like, what if it got shitty?
Yeah.
I'm like, if it gets shitty and it's just me, I can figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, well, if it gets shitty and it's her there, Mateo, Miles, you know, we had all the kids there. We actually had some hiccups on that, which we can get back to later.
Yeah.
Might be a conversation for another time. But to answer Jack's question, I packed exactly how I would pack for myself times 2, and made sure she had the pad and the all the under, you know, layers, all the base layers, the rain gear, multiple pairs of gloves. One thing I would say that I feel like I failed to do, and admittedly, in all those miles we put on 4-wheelers, she was wearing a helmet, and that to me was a huge mistake and a lapse in judgment as a parent, because as you know, all growing up, right, we're riding big red 3-wheelers with no helmets on all the time. Like it was just normal. You hunted with a rifle on your shoulder, standing up on a big red, looking for caribou, you know? And so we were just clipping along, and I'm like, oh man, there's like a lot of room for error here. And I've got this like beautiful thing with me that like the last thing I want to see is get hurt. Here I'm just putting her in absolute harm's way.
Right.
And so I kind of just was cognizant of that and was super careful about everything I did on the 4-wheeler and not hit ruts, and was just on it, you know? And so that was a huge, like, okay, make sure she has like head protective equipment. Like that was a big thing. But the really cool thing is that I was with Daniel. So it was like whatever I didn't have, he had, or whatever he didn't have, I had, knowing that we're both bringing our kids out. So it was like we had MSR, you know, stoves and teepees and
way more shit than we needed.
Oh man, we were just bringing so much stuff on a day trip just in case we like had to spend the night. The kids were going to be okay.
So you're saying you're a gear junkie?
A little bit. Yeah. But it was, I don't know if I got like a direct answer to that, but it was.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head there, except for the pre leading up to that. I mean, doing the small game, you know, ptarmigan hunts, taking them to the class, taking them shooting, you know, teaching them some stalking techniques, you know, things like that. That's like, you can do a lot of that stuff before you even get out there,
Yeah.
you know, and make them comfortable with it, you know, and even riding, you know, riding around, riding on the 4-wheeler, you know, you can start that right away,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a hunting trip.
How about like with her involvement on the trip specifically? Like, do you guys talk about, okay, well, this is what we think we're going to happen? You know, what's your gear bag look like? If we get into this type of situation, here's, you know, how we're going to respond.
Yeah, you know, that's great to shed light on that, because we did talk about that, but it was more like, I didn't really have a plan for it. It just was like, okay, so we're going to be, you know, this day we're going to be out riding 4-wheelers. It's going to be, you know, 6 to 8 hours possibly. Okay, what should we, you know, I'm thinking I'm going to bring this, so you should bring this. So we did pack our bags together, which was cool. So we laid it all on the table, got it all set up. So I was like, okay, if it's going to rain, you got it right here. If it's going to be cold, you're going to put the puffy jacket on and put this rain jacket on over it. So we actually like put our layers on, zipped them up, made sure it fit. So we did actually have that preparation, so that it was like, hey, when we want to like, hey, it's cold, I want you to switch jackets. I don't got to like walk you through it.
Yeah.
You actually can be like, okay, here's my little blue dry bag, roll top, unclip it. Had it color coded with our own carabiner. So it was like, hey, the green carabiner is your bag. So
That's cool.
Yeah. So we had the same dry bag little thing that was like gloves, hat, the puffy jacket, the puffy vest. And it was like, you were able to like put it on.
Yeah.
Or take it off and like puff it in that thing and clip it wherever.
Yeah.
So it was like, I wanted to make sure if you're getting cold, like hey daddy, I'm getting cold. Like getting cold, put a jacket on.
Yeah.
Put your gloves on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she picked that up real fast. And
Man, I didn't do that. I like get my kids' stuff together, so I'm like, I know they got it, but that's way better to involve them in it.
Yeah.
So then they know, like, you packed it.
Yeah.
Like, here's the list.
Yeah.
That's what you should do.
Yeah.
Make the list. Like, this is the list
Yeah.
you need.
yeah.
Before you pack it, have it all laid out. Let me take a look at it. Put it in there. Then it's like, you know, you got your own stuff.
Yeah. I think, packing together and then like running through like a couple lists of scenarios as like an active conversation. It's like, oh, you know, what happens if, you know, the river comes up and we're going to do a crossing? What do you think we should be doing? Or, you know, dad sticks his too sharp knife into his leg. You know, what are we doing? You know, this kind of stuff.
Well, safety, 100%. I mean, and I think that when you go out there as a dad and you go with your kids, I mean, you're hyper aware of like all that. And I'm sure you went like a quarter mile and you're like, she should have a helmet on.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Instantly. I was like, oh, man, come on.
But it's one of those things, like, that's one of the first trips you bring your kid.
Yeah.
And I mean, you live and you learn and
It felt like a lot. It felt like a lot of responsibility. I feel like we had them really well prepared, but now moving forward, there's like so much room for improvement of being even better prepared. Like you said, we didn't run through a scenario if we had to do a full medical situation on dad stabbing his, you know, artery in his wrist when he's cleaning the caribou. Like, we didn't talk about any of that. Now, at 10 years old, was she like ready to even comprehend any of that? Probably not. And I guess that's where it's like when you're going with your friends and your boys, you're kind of like, okay, well, I got like my kids, but I got my boys. Like, shit goes bad, like they'll take care of it if I'm like hurt or something happens or so.
well, I think with anything, like, the more you do it, the more experience you get.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to learn. The first time you go, you forgot this or that, or you do this better. And the point is to go do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, get out there. Yeah.
Get out there and do it and hopefully get better at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so
Just
that it's enjoyable.
Just go somewhere where you have YouTube and YouTube.
100%.
How to get out of your
A quick
situation.
tutorial.
Yeah.
Just
Heard
do the
there's some-
Carlo like my brother does when I'm like, need to fix something at the house. Did you YouTube it? That's like the first question. I was like, no, that's why I'm calling you. You're the plumber. I'm calling you for some plumbing shit. Like, you know, come over.
Yeah. This is how you
YouTube. Go somewhere
quarter
with-
moose on YouTube.
Yeah.
Hey, you can learn a lot.
Oh yeah.
You can learn everything.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. Or even better, like, hey, you might get a moose. You might want to download that video
Yeah.
and have it so you
Oh, yeah.
have it on hand.
Yeah. Somewhere to get started.
Yeah.
Yeah, sit and watch it as the adrenaline's coming down.
Yeah. And speaking about all that stuff, like being prepared and the gear and all that stuff, like we all started with sweatpants and jeans and the wool, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh yeah.
Hoodie.
it's
Salvation
don't
Army.
let that hinder you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, don't
Oh,
be,
yeah.
like, you don't have to be cooeyed out to get out and go kill a caribou.
No,
Right?
100% not.
That's just not.
And we'll get some of these old codgers in here, you know,
Oh man.
talk about they don't know none of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, they still bust out the flannel. They're going out there with that shirt you got on and
It's a
just
warm shirt. It's warm.
making it happen.
It's
Right?
warm when it's wet.
Yeah.
They can't go wrong. You know, yellow rain jacket. I mean, they're using it fishing in the Bering Sea and pretty warm. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, tried and true.
Tried and true. And that's important also to know what good gear is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What you really want to wear. And that's something that we're probably going to want to highlight, which we will highlight in videos of like, hey,
man.
we know this stuff works good up here. You know, a lot of these products and stuff, maybe they're made in California or, you know, Montana, where it's a little bit different, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of that stuff works good here, but there's some stuff that's like, this is Alaska certified. Like, we know this is legit stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's something that we're going to want to highlight for people, just so that's like, hey, if we're looking for like something for this, what do you suggest? You know, and these are some of the things that we can highlight for people to make it easier, because you go online and look at information, or, you know, you go on this like backcountry hunters and guides and these Facebook groups and stuff like that, which are really good for info, but you're going to get the widest range. I mean, like for today, like for example, this dude posted this meat up, and it's like, I knew right away, like, that's bad. You're not eating that meat. But it's like, you got people like, oh, that's just freezer burn, or that's this, just cook it all the way, it'll be fine. And it's like,
Yeah. Maybe not do that.
yeah. And you get a lot of things like that on the internet and on these, you know, forums and stuff like that. So I think that's something that we're going to really be specific about and be like, listen, this we know works.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So if you're looking for this backpack, or you're looking for this type of water filter or tent or whatever it may be, like things that we're like, we know these things work because we've used them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They've seen all weather conditions, temperatures.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, just like the progression of like our backpacks or something, where, you know,
Boots.
we started with one, and then we went to another one because that one was ripping, and then went to another one because that one was squeaky and wobbly, and, you know, you didn't want to be rocking that one on some steep terrain with carrying out a sheep or a goat or something. And to get to where we got with different pieces of our kits, just like, you know, you're sharing, Brandon, about learnings of going with your daughter for the first time. You know, I'm 6 years away from that myself with two of them. So, I mean, I want to learn as much as I can from my friends and other people that have gone out and shared this similar passion before I get into it, you know?
Right. Yeah. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm like, anybody that wants to get their kids into it, I mean, I'm fully behind it. Like, let's go. Let's invest the time. Let's get them out there.
Yeah.
You know, anytime anyone wants to get out with the kids and go do it,
Let's go.
let's teach them. Let's show them the way.
Yep.
Because they're not going to learn until you get them out.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and right now yours are a little small, so they're limited. They're out there ice fishing in the cold wind the other day, just zero F's given about the fact that it's cold, and like their hands are about to freeze. You know, they're just enjoying it, just genuinely, and it's just the start of it.
And even the kids' gears come a long way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
Like, there's no
goodness.
reason the kids should be cold.
Yeah.
No,
You know,
Yeah.
they should be like, Papi, I'm hot.
Yeah.
Take this off.
you're like, no, keep your jacket on.
Like I said, put your gloves on, because in 2 minutes you're not going to be hot in your hands, and then you're going to want to leave.
Yeah,
And we're not leaving.
I'm gonna go sit in the truck.
We don't need the ice fishing tent this time, Dad.
It might
gonna
get
pop
windy.
it up.
Yeah. Well, just to wrap up the idea of what we got going and all that stuff, and there's a lot of people we got to thank for helping us get a lot of this stuff together. This beautiful studio, dream come true. Donatello, Don Jose,
Oh man,
Donnie,
Teflon Daisy, dude.
Teflon Don, Don Juan, Jose, Don of many names. I mean, number one, Don. This guy,
Yeah,
bro,
Don.
created this wall, help with the painting, just like the handyman guy that you need like to come and just like make it look legit. Donatello.
He
That's
saw the
man.
vision. We were like, hey, Don, we're kind of thinking this, that, and the other. We threw the material on the floor, and then we came back a couple days later, and it was like,
Yeah.
hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Just, he knew.
He knew. Aaron Sweeney, another guy. Roasted Timber Works on Instagram for the sign.
The sign.
I mean, I shouted him out on the Instagram today because this dude just does awesome things. And like
Everybody I show is like, I love that logo. I'm like, I know.
this dude
It's
killed
like-
it, bro.
Yeah.
She sent him a picture and he's like, oh yeah,
I
no
got it.
problem. I can do that.
The details,
Yeah.
second to none, dude.
But listen, even if you're looking for a cool gift, you see people put like the name of their last name on their thing, the Omers or whatever.
Yeah,
on,
by
on
the
their-
front door.
Yeah, like the littlest cool thing,
Yeah.
like to the biggest, like something for a company. Like this guy can do it, Roasted Timber Works, like huge thanks to him.
Yeah, Aaron's legit. He's made some stuff for us over at Double Shovel that is just
Oh, yeah,
amazing.
they're beautiful pieces, yeah.
Yeah. And it's cool to see his progression. Like he made, I think the first sign he made was for my hot dog stand for Anchortown Dogs, like, I don't know how many years ago. And like, you look at that and you're like, man, he took a lot of time to do that to like where he's at now. And you're like, wow,
Yeah.
this he's QU'd out on the signs, bro. So big shout out to him. Big shout out to Ryan Cropper at Able Body and Total Truck. You know what I'm saying? Held a
Waste. Yeah.
lot of love, a lot of support. Childhood buddy of mine, like just doing the
Isn't that
Alaska
crazy how
thing.
that worked out? And
Just doing the thing.
yeah.
What a guy.
Yeah.
Josh Nix on the table. We're gonna bring him in actually and have a chat with him about he's one of those guys that like lost his job on the slope because all the bullshit, was already doing this furniture for fun as a hobby, as slope dudes, keep themselves busy when they come home.
Yep.
So like, I got 4 kids. I got to make this happen. You know what I'm saying? Doing it in his little shack outside in Palmer in the Butte, like just like banging
Space
out
heaters.
beautiful things. Like big thanks to Josh Nix. You know what I'm
Josh
saying?
showed up. This live edge table is sick.
Yeah. It was like, when we got out to his place to pick it up, the energy, the vibe the dude put off, the way he delivered it, the whole thing was like meant to be, man.
Yeah.
Like it was
Awesome.
a beautiful, start to a relationship, and a guy that can really provide a lot of really cool, unique stuff to a wide range of people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, check him out on
he's-
Facebook. I don't think he's building his way up. I don't even think he has like a website yet. But
No.
Josh Nix on
Yeah,
Facebook
just check
doing
him out.
crazy furniture and stuff like that. Aaron Sweeney, Roasted Timber Works, Ryan Cropper and the Able Body Shop Boys, Double Shovel, big time sponsorship. Coming through with support financially and in all different kind of ways. We got to talk about Tailored Restoration.
yeah, we did.
Trent Taylor coming through right on board with one of the main sponsors. If you're looking for any kind of like house repair or painting or something went on, you got a drip in your house and now you got to change something, or you got to get your carpet cleaned, or anything that has to do with your house, call those guys up there at Tailored Restoration. Like, hey, listen, Trent, Alaska Wild Project sent us out here. We need help with this. We're trying to remodel that. Whatever it is, like, give these guys a call. Like, they're going to like be professional and come out and like give you a real legit
Estimate and yeah.
Yeah, line it out for you. Just line it all out for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a ton of awesome other companies doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this is our guy who decided like he's in love with hunting. He's a new hunter. I mean, like he's like texted me today, like, what's the goat enchilada recipe?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I gotta holler at Jack. He's like, I'm going goat hunting. I was like, oh boy, you're already talking about recipes. You got to get the goat first, buddy. You know.
Yeah.
You know, another guy, Josh Boots, there at Treehouse. Big time, you know, lifetime buddy of ours who's done a lot of cool music stuff. I'm sure a lot of people have heard him and heard his music and seen his shows. And he's got his cannabis store up there, the Treehouse off of Boniface, which is just beautiful. Beautiful. It's like a diamond in the rough over there.
Straight.
You know, you'd think off of Boniface, you're going to go into some shanty place, you know.
A little bit hood.
Dude, you go in there, it's like, whoa, am I in LA? Like, what's going on here? And he's got it all. I mean, he's got all the local stuff, and from the greens to the edibles to the CBD, you know, which get on the CBD, guys. Like, that's helpful. Like on the hunts and stuff like that. Start bringing those oils and stuff like that. Like, just helps with the inflammation and
the pain.
Go talk to those guys over there. Go talk to Chris, his manager over there. Like, this guy is like has more knowledge about like pain relief and inflammation and like just know their stuff.
Stuff, yeah.
You know,
yeah, for sure.
This isn't meet your buddy at Cars, you know, and throw the bag across the window. This is legit. Like, these guys have like science behind it, you know. So go check out those guys over there for sure at the Treehouse. Just you know, a local boy who came up doing his thing, which is awesome. Yeah, awesome.
Playing outside. Josh plays outside hard. Snow machine and hunting. He's just after it.
Oh, he is getting after it, man.
Big time.
He's really finding his stride with it, isn't he?
Oh, he's invited me the last 2 weeks. He's like, I bought a new snow machine. I got my old one.
Yeah.
He's like, you just need to do a snow check.
He is fun to go riding with, though. He's like one of the buddies you're like, oh, you're guaranteed to have fun, even if the snow sucks.
Yeah.
Like, whatever it is, like, it's still going to be a good time.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss it, actually. I miss it.
Well, guys, anything else you want to talk about or discuss or be on the lookout for? Or
we never, you know, here rounding things out, we never gave love to the hot dog man downtown.
Oh, hot dog time,
dude. I mean,
I
heard the word on the street. There's this dude with these hot dogs downtown.
Oh, these ain't just regular hot dogs.
But he's got a new spot now. Ooh, he got the spot. He got the spot.
Yeah.
Where that is?
Well, normally we would open up for Ferrandi and Iditarod and all that, like the running of the reindeer and all that. But like with COVID, like they just shut all that down. But you know what? I'm opening anyway. We're going to open up that weekend of Ferrandi and Iditarod. So if you're looking for a dog that last weekend of March and those weekends after that, we're going to play it by ear on the weather because it is no fun to be out there cold selling hot dogs if there's like no one out there. So come support your boy. Come buy a reindeer sausage, buffalo, vegan, gyros. I mean,
reindeer.
That Euro? What's up with that Euro, man?
Oh, man.
What about the Euro dog?
Shh, don't tell people about the Euro dog.
That's a thing?
Oh, yeah. It's some top secret stuff right there. Yeah.
That's not like,
that's
not on the menu. You got to actually like ask the dude.
That's a double shovel hockey team favorite. Yeah.
The Euro dog. Yeah.
He just sees us coming.
Yeah.
Well,
and then, and you know what you do? You go to the tap room right there, 4th and 5th and E, double shovel, Anchorage Cider House, the tap room. Go get you a couple ciders, get warmed up.
Yep.
Walk on down 4th and E, right in front of the Public Lands building, the old federal building, the white building right across the 4th Avenue Theater.
About a 5-minute walk.
Not even.
The other little top secret hint there is you go over to Wild Scoops, get yourself some ice cream, and bring it into Anchorage Cider House, and then you make yourself a cider float.
No.
They're offering that, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
you got to get the ice cream, you bring it in, but yeah, they'll make you a
cool.
cider float for you. It's damn good, you know, and you got that grapefruit lavender, you know,
so
rhubarb
cool
mint, you know, all the good stuff.
Goodness.
Blueberry sour.
We need to get
lots
her
of
in
good
here.
options.
What? When did this happen? Like,
you never seen their little nook there?
I haven't been down there, but I'm talking about that float, dude.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
no.
What?
The cider float?
It's pretty top secret.
It's like the Euro dog.
Yeah.
It
Like
asked for it.
my mind just blew these headphones right off, dude.
You got to know to know. Yeah.
Damn. All right. Well, note taken.
Yeah.
We'll get downtown and do that.
100%. Well, thank you guys for coming together to do this. And we got a lot of cool stuff coming up. A lot of videos. Check the YouTube page. AlaskaWildProject.com is under construction. That should be up before this is out. That's going to be ready to go.
Yeah.
Shirts, hoodies, hats, gears,
Stickers.
water bottle, gear reviews, patches, recipes. We got to get into the cooking stuff. Just like you like to say, the full gamut.
Full gamut, man.
Full gamut.
The full gamut. The full Alaska gamut.
Bring it all, dude. We're going to bring it all.
Yeah, we got awesome guests coming in. We got Kevin from Barney's. We're talking to Heather. Heather's Choice, hopefully. We got some guide services coming in.
Iron Dog Boys.
We got Ashley Chaffin from Skidoo and Fox Racing. Logan Wickens coming in.
Nice.
And if you got some dudes and you guys want to come in and you're doing something cool, like hit us up. Hit us up on the social media, Instagram, Facebook, the website, the email, and let's get it rolling. Let's get it popping up in here.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yes, sir. And with that, we're going to hit you guys off with this last little intro. Enjoy. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We're going to come at you every week. Support your boys up here in the A to the K.
You remember my speaking to you of what I call your overcautiousness. Are you not overcautious when you assume that you cannot do what the enemy is constantly doing?
Total Truck Accessory Center. Go check them out at 7700 Homer Drive. They're your one-stop shop for canopies, spray-in bed liners, LED light bars, and more. Total Truck.
TheTreehouseAK.com. Located at 341 Boniface Parkway. They're your all-in-one cannabis and CBD store. Ask the bartender today what the strain of the day is to get your 10% off.
Lawn Pro AK, your year-round professional property maintenance. Cutting lawns, but not cutting quality. Hit them up at lawnproak.com.
Double Shovel Cider Company, located off of Arctic and 58th. Handcrafted, Alaskan-made cider. They also got a tap room downtown on the corner of 5th and E. Check them out, doubleshovelcider.com.
Anchortown Dogs, located across from the 4th Avenue Theater in front of the historical building. Look for the blue and gold umbrella. Get yourself a legit reindeer dog.
Tailored Restoration, helping Alaskans restore their dreams. Voted #1 in the state since 1972. Water restoration, fire restoration, remodeling, cleaning, anything that you have to do with your home, inside and outside, give those guys a call or check out tailoredrestoration.com.